so don't forget about the blood moons. It's not over yet. I'm going to start here just because I can't respond to any comments on Google. I don't use Google Plus contract, and the name that's on my account isn't my name. It's actually the CEO of YouTube, and I just gave him that name because they kept harassing me. So anyways, this is just a map of what Google does with your personal information that they own. I had a series of blood moon videos. There's quite a few. There's the 4 blood moons plus the 5th blood moon, and then I've done other things that are related to the blood moon videos. But the stuff that they're saying, and so we're going to start here with Zechariah. Now, all this information here has been brought to my attention by Michael Rood. Michael Rood is very inspired, and he has been shown the Bible, and he has come up with a lot of things that have really put everything together. Because there's 4 chariots, and when we think about Revelations, we think about the 4 horsemen. Well, here it's the same thing. The red horse, the black horse, the white horse, the bay horse or pale horse. Now these are in Zechariah, and these come out mountains of brass. And brass is a man-made metal, so these man-made mountains. So the 2 mountains, so the 4 horsemen originate from the 2 mountains. And so we can get back into 9/11 and all that conspiracy stuff. And that's what people call it. I shouldn't say that. I say that jokingly. It's not a conspiracy. Well, it's a conspiracy. It's not a theory. Okay, so the white horse to conquer, and we know that the 4 horsemen, the white horse was, people argue that Antichrist, whatever. Red horse, war. Black horse, death. Pale horse, hell. This is the important part that Michael Rood brought up. He's talking about the flying roll. You can go look at Michael Rood website. You can get his Zechariah teaching. And this, again, this associates with Ezekiel chapter 38 when he talks about people's tongues melting out of their mouth, their eyeballs melting out of their sockets. These are flying rolls, 20 cubits, which is about 35, 36 feet. They're 10 cubits around, the breadth of, so the diameter of these things is about 6 feet. So this is describing missiles. This is a very important part, because down here it says, they talk about the lead. The lead is a casing in the atomic bomb. That lead encases uranium. They misquoted this word. It's not woman, it's fire. And that was a revelation that Michael Rood had, and they went back and I looked it up, and it actually was true that this is supposed to be fire. Okay, and then so where are these going? Where do these bear? In the land of Shinar, and that's actually Babylon. That is Iraq. Iraq is the land of Shinar. So nuclear war in Iraq? Who knows? Iran, maybe? Probably, most likely. But anyways, this is to show, this whole thing was to bring this out. This is the nuclear war, and these things all fall in order. We have 4 horsemen coming out. Now we have 4 chariots coming out from between the 2 towers, meaning we had 4 wars. We had Iraq, we had Afghanistan, we had Libya, and now we're involved in Syria. And then Zechariah goes on to say that Syria will be a ruinous heap. Well, Damascus itself will be a ruinous heap. And that's what's coming. And then, so in the way that I'm reading it, and I don't know if this is true, that after the war in Damascus, then we're going to have some type of nuclear confrontation. It could be local, it could be worldwide. We don't know, but it's coming. Now, this gets more into my point about this video, and this is why I'm making the video, because I'm seeing a lot of things about eclipses and the sun and moon turning black during an eclipse or what have you, and then people are talking about the rapture. Jesus is going to come and save them before anything happens. None of this is factual. Immediately after the tribulation. This word is very specific. and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man. So this is after the tribulation. The sun will be darkened, the moon shall not give her light. Is that an eclipse? This is a solar eclipse. Is this the world right here in Oregon? How many people are blackened by an eclipse? The sun turns black. The whole world sees the sun turn black. Right. When does the whole world see an eclipse? So anyways, this is the eclipse that's coming this year. If you can make it up to the northern part of America, you can actually see a total eclipse if you want to. And there's going to be another one in 3 years. They're pretty common. And we made it through most of them, I guess. But this is typically what a solar eclipse does. It's not blacking out the sun. It's a local event. It's a local event that lasts maybe a minute at the most. Who knows? I filmed an eclipse in California, Northern California. I filmed an eclipse this way back. I think it was 2012. I can't remember. It's something May 2012, something like that. You can go look at my clip. I actually filmed it, and I'm still here. So now we want to go back and look at how many scriptures. This is just a partial amount of the scriptures that actually show scriptures about the sun and moon growing black. And you can go through all these scriptures. You can read them all. It's very clear that it's not an eclipse. Okay. One that stuck out to me is Ezekiel. All the bright lights of heaven are dark. Now, does the heavens turn black? Well, look. We're going into a nuclear war. We're having, the greatest earthquake that ever hits the planet. Every mountain and island are moved from their place. How do we know that even with chemtrails alone, they're darkening the sky? But, after a nuclear war, are you going to see the sun and moon? That's been my interpretation all along. But, again, maybe they will be darkened. I'm not saying what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's not an eclipse. So, this is in Zechariah 14, and okay, so this gets a little more into it. And this tells you what's going to happen. And this doesn't happen in an eclipse. The light shall not be clear, nor dark. It shall be one day. There won't be day and night. You won't be able to tell day or night without the sun or the moon. Not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. So there'll be some light. Where it comes from, I don't know. Maybe the fires, cities on burning. I don't know. And again, this is what an eclipse does. So this has absolutely nothing to do with what's coming. Okay. This is another very important point that Michael Reed made. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. In the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. Now, this is talking about the 70th week of Daniel. The 1 week of Daniel that's not connected to all the other weeks that everyone talks about. And so we know this is where we get the idea of 3.5 years, and then all hell breaks loose. But the important part of this is that he shall confirm the covenant. So the 1 week of Daniel time, we don't have a time frame on that. So how do we know that that week starts? Because there will be a covenant that is confirmed. Believe it or not, that's already happened, but it hasn't been publicized. So let's look into that. What is this talking about? Did you know that the Ark of the Covenant has been found? There's several eyewitnesses. There's rabbinical priests, there's archaeologists, there's a lot of people that have been there. They can't take a clear photo of it. They don't want to touch it. They can't move it. It's not going to be revealed because, like what we just saw, what we know, when the covenant is confirmed, when the Ark of the Covenant is revealed, confirmed, that is the last week. And how is that going to happen? Well, we're going to have a deal made, aren't we? Well, we're going to have a nuclear war, and then after a nuclear war, we're going to say, hey, this wasn't a very good idea. Let's make a deal. Well, we'll let you make your temple, and does that cause them to bring out the ark, or do they bring out the ark and say, oh, you know, this is real, so we'll let you build a temple? Either way, you know, I'm not here to predict the future. But this has been found, it's been testified to, there's lots of eyewitnesses. That's all I can say. I'm not going to argue about it. And again, I can't comment, so you can comment, but I can't argue with you. And so here's a picture he tried to take. This is Ron Wyatt. He's the discoverer of the ark. And they have some ideas of... I put these up because this comes from his site, and so he would have a very clear idea of what the ark looked like. And so this kind of gives... And so you have the Illuminati triangle. Well, we know that Satan, who wants to be as God, takes all things and represents as himself, which comes from God. And so we have the holy city coming down from heaven in the last days, or after the last days, in the new days, which has the measurements that are equal, and so, you know, that's all conjecture. Anyways, this is supposed to be a real picture of the ark, so I just threw that in there. So this is what happened, and again, you can go to Michael Rood's website. You can look at all the information. It took me years to look at all this stuff. So, anyways, when Israel was attacked, they moved the ark. There's lots of caverns underneath Israel. That's where they drew the rock out to build Jerusalem. And so they moved the ark into this hiding place. And then we know that when Jesus was crucified, there was an earthquake, the ground split. And so here we see that the ground split at his feet, and when he was stabbed in the side, his blood came down and baptized the Ark of the Covenant, which puts everything together. This makes so much sense if you know the Bible. So now I'm getting on to other things. A lot of people are going to argue, oh, this fables, fantasy, fairy tales. Well, this is an Egyptian chariot wheel at the bottom of the Red Sea. This looks too new to me. It could have been buried, they could have uncovered it. But that's the exact shape of an Egyptian chariot wheel. Looks like it's brand new. I don't know about that one, but who knows. This is... They found Sodom and Gomorrah also, and this is the brimstone that fell on Sodom and Gomorrah. You can take a match and light these things up. Better not get too close if you do that. So, chariot wheels found. There's an actual bridge. You can look, just type it in. Type it in the internet, and you'll go right to it. It's all over. It's all over the place. These things are being found out. They're being proven. It's true.